Sorry. Let me get to where I am. Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Osa, and tonight we are playing FS19 on Ungetsheim, starting from scratch with seasons, and it's raining. So, blah. Now, there are a ton of fields that need harvesting. Unfortunately, we can't do any of them because it's raining. And there is one contract available that we can do on field 98 for harvesting of potatoes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Which I think we might do, since it's due to rain all morning. So I'm borrowing the equipment because we don't have anything to do with potatoes. And I don't know if this is a good idea. We'll see. And before we get anywhere, ×5. And let's try not to reverse into the windows. Eee. Alrighty, let's put those blinky lights on and try and find 118, 98. 98 is down the main street, way down the main street. Turn right at 101. We are driving in Europe, so we'll drive on the right, because I will do that. Hey, Hail Team! Welcome to the stream, and welcome to Thursday. How's your week been going so far? How's my sound doing? We okay here? So this is probably crazy, ridiculous equipment to be driving on these roads. I'm actually on the footpath, so I'm sure the locals aren't particularly happy with me ripping up their looks like brick footpaths. We are doing fine. The young person is off dancing. She has dance class on Thursday. And apparently she has a crush on a guy. Not at dance class. But, yeah, teenage years. Gonna be interesting. Oh, and lots of major meltdowns in the last week. She doesn't like being told she can't do something or has to do something that she doesn't want to, but there's the brakes. And for the most part, she tends to melt down and then get over it. So all is not too bad at the moment. Now, 101, I want to turn right after 101. Where is the traffic? Did I turn that off last time? I've been driving a bit of a long time and not seen any. I bet you I turned the traffic off. Oh no. Is that the car coming? Looks like it might be. I'm going past 101 and then we turn right. Oh, that's something off the side of the road down there, so that's not a car. I think we'll activate vehicles once we're into the farming. It's 8:33 in the morning, so I fully expect this to go at least all day. Because potatoes. Now check the weather before I started the stream. We have rain all morning. It should dry out in the afternoon, but I really don't think we're going to get very far. because the weather is, it's going to take too long to dry anything out. Lower. There we go. So if I line that up like that and set it off on a worker. Oh, you want the lights on. Nice. We can go and get the truck. Oh, we've got the van truck. Yay. Eastern Europe, I would have thought the chat room would have been a little bit more likely. Not to worry. Oh, and I just noticed as I was starting the stream, Millennial Farmer dropped a video about 18 seconds before. So I've got something to catch up tonight when everybody gets home. As I said, for right now, we have nothing happening. Well, nobody home except me for the next 2 hours, so that's fine. What is the time? 20 after 5. Actually, they'll be home before then, but that's okay. There's the track. We're 50% of the way into the potato hopper. Now, fortunately, this is a contract, so I can drive on the field and not damage anything. Not something you can do with your own potatoes. So for that, I strongly suggest if you're doing your own potatoes that you top the field first, and then you can drive all over it. Okay, he's doing the turnaround thing and he's turning to the offside. That sucks. Well, not to worry. So yeah, let's give him a bit of room. And it'll also be interesting to see how full or how much capacity the truck has. Okay, let's turn the traffic back on. It'll be as glitchy as or get out, but help icons. No, is that traffic on? There we go. Okay, so traffic's on. It will be, as I said, it'll be glitchy because traffic doesn't start up well mid-game. And we'll just drive on the potatoes because why not? Oops, too far. This is not easy to do because the angle of the conveyor gets you down onto the edge of the truck very, very quickly. We're doing okay, and that looks like the harvest is empty. So 20%, so about approximately 5 loads I would guess we can get into the truck. Turn that off there, and we will take over from the worker dude. Come on. No. Turn off. Thank you. Fortunately, we've got some grass fields at the end of each row, so that's not going to be a problem for us. We did that, lower the front, and off we go. And I might do this from in the cab because it's just easier. I think with potatoes, if we line up that middle on sort of the third row, that's optimum harvest point. Oh yeah, it's one of the reasons I do not like using potatoes. I much prefer doing a sugar beet harvest, because if you're in the big, the T440, it holds about 40 odd thousand litres, which is approximately a full truckload. Now on Oakfield, where we're using the tractor hauled equipment, we only have 6,000 litres, so 8 unloads into the truck per run. The other thing we have to watch here is, in my experience, oh no, we're using season, we shouldn't be too bad, but what can happen in regular game is you chew through your vehicle maintenance, and I think the first time I did a potato harvest on Ravenport, I had to repair the harvester twice because we were down to sort of 3 miles an hour harvesting speed and no maintenance capability whatsoever. That's kind of not a good thing. Round we go. Does have a good turn circle though. Well, somewhat good. So row 3 between the markers, and we should be good. And we are going to fill this up in no time. Actually, I'm not sure that is good. It looks like we missed a bit where, I'll demonstrate in a minute, we'll be full in a sec. And done. Whoa, and that does stop, that's good. So where we've done the harvest properly, the ground is all sort of solid, but where those ridge lines are, the rows that the potatoes were planted in, that's not harvested correctly. So I'm going to guess if I went back I could probably pick up some more potatoes in there, which may or may not be worth it. Let's spin that out. Kill some potatoes, except we don't because contract. Okay, let's stop that there. Yeah, potatoes is not an easy crop to harvest, either with the tractor hauled equipment or with the big equipment. But it's a high labour intensive crop, which means you do get paid exceptionally well for it. So there's that. That's on. So, oops. Another thing. Turn it on, and off we go. I think maybe what I might do is, once we get to the end of here, fairly certain we can get a full row, so we can go back down. I'll catch the bits we didn't get over on the left. The truck itself is 48,000 litres, so we should be able to get 5 unloads thereabouts, so not too bad, I hope. Let's see what's in the back of the thing without, oh yeah, nice. Just don't drift too far off the line because that's bad. Well, it's not necessarily bad, it's inefficient. Alrighty. Yeah, there's so much other potato equipment out there, but this is all we get for farm sim. Or this and the tractor haul stuff. It would be nice to get other options. Yeah, that's good. But the good news is you can do this in wet weather. Actually, it's 9 o'clock, so we're definitely expecting the rain to stop sometime before midday. We're just not sure when. At least I haven't figured that bit out. So I see, what was it? GTX mod has done, or GTX has done the Sosnovka map with all the original style buildings and everything else. Looks very nice. Not really a map I got into. Do I recommend? Oops. Do I recommend 3 or 6 day? I recommend generally at least. Which side's that thing on? Right side. I recommend usually 6. The reason being that you can end up with some horrible weather at times, and so the longer your season, the more opportunity you have to avoid bad weather, especially during fall. But again, it depends on your geo. If you're playing an American map with an American geo, chances are you will not have too much problems with, or at least in southern climes, not have too much problem with wet falls and rained out harvests. But I tend to play UK or European maps. This map is going to start winter early. So day 6 of fall, and we're playing a 9 days. I'm an idiot. I'm playing a 9-day season on a Central European geo, and so I am probably, I'm definitely getting snow before the end of fall, and that's a problem. Or could be a problem if I had a big farm. I don't have a big farm. All our harvesting was done early. But if you want to do harvesting contracts, obviously it helps to have a longer season. Things to remember, I don't know about leasing costs, but or maintenance, but I suspect maintenance may be slower the more days you have in a season. So a 3-day season, your tractor's maintenance is going to drop very quickly. In a 6-day season, it's probably going to drop slower because they normalise everything for approximately 12 months. So you don't, if you're playing a 3-day season or a 9-day season, you're still going to end up spending the same amount on equipment maintenance in general. So yes, there are potatoes hidden in that bit there and there. Now this one, the rules of this particular playthrough is I have to play at ×5 speed, and I'm playing with a 9-day season. With the Oakfield Farm, I'm playing in real time with a 6-day season. Now, play the sort of the ×5 or the real time. That's the slowest I allow myself to play. So if there was no potato contract here and basically nothing to do this morning, I could just say, well, to heck with it, I'm going to put it on times 10 times 30 times 60 and just get to a point where I can start doing something. But the slowest I'm allowed to play this playthrough is times 5, with a proviso that when I start up the stream, I'm playing in real time just long enough to do an intro and make sure everything's set up, make sure I remember what I'm supposed to be doing today, that type of thing. But as soon as I've got past that bit, I'm really looking at, okay, now we're in real time, now we're in times 5 mode, and so you have 2 hours per game day, approximately, to get things done. But by playing a 9-day season, it still makes us one season, 6 times 2, 18, no, 6 times, 9 times 2, yeah, so 18 hours approximately of daylight hours per season is what I'm playing with on this particular playthrough. Now I may do my next playthrough once this one's done and go for a times 10 playthrough, and for that I will need a mod that alters from the standard giants times 1 times 5 times 15 30 60 120 and gives you a better control over what time lapse you're playing with. But I think times 10 would be nice. It's going to be 1 hour of play per game day, which would make a stream 1 hour, with a bit at the beginning and a bit at the end to intro and outro on. That I would slow the time down briefly, or for that point. But yeah, game speed and number of days per season, and you'll kind of get the idea as you're playing with seasons. Some maps I think, Realismus suggests you play at times 5 with a 9-day season. But you can play with 6. You could play with 12. It's juggling. Some things make the game easier. Some things make the game harder. I think the more 9500. Okay. The more days you play with makes it easier. But still, you're a 3-day season is going to be tough, because 3 days of rain in fall is going to seriously hamper your harvest, even if you're playing in real time. A 24-day season, you're probably going to end up with a lot of spare time to do a harvest, get things planted. And also, consider the size of your farm. How many fields have you got, how big are the fields, how big is your equipment. You may find out that early on, playing on a map, that, oh yeah, I can do this, no trouble, 6 hours is easy. I'm playing on Stone Valley with southern US geo, so it's not particularly wet. No problems. And then 2-3 years in, you've got, okay, now I've got 15 fields, and I don't physically have the time in the day to harvest every single one of those fields because of the quantity. Animals doesn't matter. What happens with animals is the more days you have, the